What's going on, family? Welcome to the P.A.S.S podcast, where we prevail against self-sabotage. Proudly sponsored by Project Icon. I'm your host, Mo Nelson. Let's go!
Too long and you had went against that grain. Had to go and get that fade. Waiting on visitation today.
What's going on, family? Mo Nelson coming at you with that P.A.S.S podcast, where we prevail against self-sabotage. Special thanks to my sponsors, Project Icon, and the one and only Sakurai Clothing. Thank you very much. For today's guest, I got somebody who is the epitome of, it's not about how you start, but about how you finish. I'm talking somebody that experienced being a teen mom and that is a foster care survivor. And now today, she is a prominent, successful entrepreneur, brand architect, and a pronounced speaker. Family, let's lock in and give it up for my guest, Miss Victoria Sky, with two Y's.
With two
How
Y's.
you doing? How you doing, Miss Victoria?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
feeling good?
I feel good. I feel good.
That's good. That's
How about
good.
you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm blessed. Can't complain. I got another shot of life. I feel like every time we wake up is another opportunity for us to reach that goal. So
Yes.
no complaints. And it's just so amazing. I just feel so good. You know, got my workout in before we got to this episode.
Okay.
Did you work out today?
Well, I walked down my stairs.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's where I
That's a little something. How you feel? I know you told me prior to the show you were feeling a little bit under the weather. How you feeling now?
Yeah. I mean, like you said, blessed to be here another day. So, it is what it is, I feel all right. I'm
Okay.
here. And I'm grateful to be here with you.
Look, I had my cars backwards. Oh man, I didn't got my cars back, so I got to read back. Oh no, okay. All right, so let's jump right into it. For those who might not know who you are yet, who is Victoria Sky beneath the titles and the achievements?
Funny thing about it is that people are just not learning the titles and achievements. Most times I'm a very private person. So with this particular brand and business that I am launching, I'm showing more of me, but I walk in my true authentic self all the time. So most people see me as a socialite. They know me as a socialite, right? They see me outside. They probably see me hosting or whatever, but I'm a mom. I am a business owner. And I'm also, a family member. I'm just a regular person.
Okay.
But like I said, most people are now starting to see the titles and achievements.
Okay.
Yeah.
But and you said you're a business owner.
Mhm.
What business do you run? What do you do?
Well, we're not going to get into that, but my primary, I'm not going to say everything that I do, but my primary is rental incomes.
Rental income?
Yeah.
What, Airbnb?
No, rental.
Oh, long term.
Yeah.
So you're a landlord.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's cool. How's that been going for you?
I haven't had any problems.
Really?
I've been blessed. My first property I purchased as an investment was in 2016. So yeah, I haven't had any problems. I try to lease out to military families and people that actually have very stable income and careers. And then in the house in Texas is ran by a property manager, so they do what they want to do.
Okay. Do you have any background in the military at all? No. Oh, you just got a heart and a soft spot for the.
I used to do mortgages for military families, so I understand how complicated it is to be a part, not just for the ones that are enlisted in the military, but the family members, like the wives, the children, having to survive without their spouse, their partner. So their son, their daughter, whatever the case may be, for a long period of time or a short period of time is very complicated. So
That's awesome. Awesome. Caveat, man. Shout out to all the veterans out there that put their life on the line each and every day for us to have the freedom, and to the wives of those veterans that lost their significant other, in battle. My heart condolences goes out to you, and we thank you
for your service.
and you're grateful. Yeah. Okay, so that's great. Okay. So everyone has a cocoon season, right? Now, and one of my keynote speeches, because I'm a motivational speaker, for those who may not know, if you need me, come holler at me. But one of my keynote speeches is titled The Beauty in the Struggle. And it entails us going through this cocoon season because the caterpillar and this metamorphosis with the cocoon, they're in a dark place and they go through the struggle and tussle. And within that struggle and tussle, that gives them the ability to fly. They gain they gain the strength on their wings from all the rumbling, tumbling in the dark and the turmoil. So I like to talk about a cocoon season. Everybody, somewhat, some shape or form, has a cocoon season, right? So, what was the darkest one for you, and how did it shape your wings?
All right, so that's a deep question, but a great question. A cocoon season for me, I have them very often. I know most. I am so sorry.
It's okay.
I did not listen. He
It's all
told
right.
me, and I turned this
It's
off.
okay. It's
Hold
okay. At
on.
least she recognized that she ain't listen, y'all. She recognized that. It's all
Hold.
good. I know you're a very busy woman, so probably you got the hotline right
I
now.
was trying to turn it off. Oh, I didn't hit the second
It's all good. It's all
time.
good.
That's what happens when you don't pay attention in class.
It's all
Okay.
good.
But no. So here's the thing. Most people think I'm an extrovert,
Mhm.
but I'm not. I'm only outside when I need to be outside, but I am pretty much a homebody. I'm an introvert. I don't really like too many energies affect me. So I go through a cocoon season all the time. But the reason why is because I had so many dark moments in my life that people don't understand that when you have. So we don't talk about mental health often. You're probably going to be the first, and actually you're the first person I'm mentioning this too. PTSD. So when you have PTSD, you have those moments all the time, those seasons all the time.
Mhm.
But for me, my most recent one is I lost my brother,
Sorry.
that was my best friend.
Sorry about that.
I lost my sister. No, actually first I lost my mom during COVID, but she didn't die from COVID. Then I lost my brother. His heart, from his heart before he even turned 40. Then I lost my sister. Um, and her heart before she even turned 40. But she died after 40, but her heart took her out before she turned 40. Then I lost my dad in August. And this was like back to back. So every year, other than this year, hopefully I don't have any more bad news like that, but I've had a death in my family, in my immediate family. So like everybody that like is in my close, like in my immediate family has just been taken out, and from the heart most of the time. So last year when I lost my dad in August, I was already on the kryptonite hype for my brand. And then I just had to take a step back because it was so much that was being thrown at me to where like I was a zombie walking. People didn't realize that I checked out mentally. Like you could ask me what's 2 + 2, and I'd be like, because my brain, I didn't want to think about anything. Like I was really just there in the body, but mentally I was gone. Most of my close friends, they understood that. My children, they understood that. But yeah, that was a moment. But that moment of being a cocoon wasn't even a closed in. Like I wasn't close in my house. I was actually outside a lot, but I wasn't there. Like mentally, I was gone.
Got you.
So yeah,
And that's very understandable. My condolences to you, seriously,
and
from the
thank you.
heart. I haven't experienced that to that extent. I did lose my father, and that hurt. But me and my father, we didn't have a relationship like my mom. So I know if I lost my mom at this time, it'll be a little different. But nonetheless, I do know what it feels to lose an immediate family member. So if I may ask, your siblings, were they younger than you or older than you?
So, well, one, I would say I didn't have a really close relationship with my mom nor my dad, but I knew who they were.
Mhm.
The thing that hit me the most with my mom is that her way of life was like basically her way of life, from what I saw her, was my entire life.
Mm.
And so, and just, not to bash, for my siblings to say why I'm putting out the personal business, but my mom was on drugs my entire life.
Okay.
And so I never seen her in any other way, but other than on drugs. And so my dad, built a relationship with him when I was 19 years old.
Mhm.
So we didn't have a really close relationship, but there was some type of acknowledgement between the bloodline between us. But what took me out the most with them was because I'm like, they have so many grandkids. They
Mm.
didn't they didn't get a chance to see
Yeah.
grow up. I never got a chance to see my mom live a normal life or, clean. My dad, the fact that he lost his baby mama, his daughter, And his son, I think that just made him lose his, he just checked out.
Gotcha.
So for me, it was like how the things that they're missing out in life because life is so different now is the thing that hurt me the most that they didn't get a chance to experience. But losing my siblings, my brother, we were the same age, basically twins.
Mhm.
And my sister, she was older than me.
All right.
I was really close with my brother. And to this day, that memory still hurts. He's the reason why I keep going.
Mm.
And the way he died, basically in my presence, was really harsh
Gotcha.
to witness. But yeah, so
Gotcha. So with the unfortunate passings of your siblings, how does this, because you said mentioned the heart attacks, did I hear you
mhm.
correctly? Um, how does that influence your fitness journey? Do you work out? Do you indulge in cardio and eat healthy to prevent something like that from
Um,
happening to you?
yeah, when my brother had his heart attack, I went into like panic mode. So I start getting myself checked out for, different things as far as
Mm.
with my heart.
Being proactive.
My
That's
liver, like
important.
everything, just making sure. Then I had a genetic testing done as well for like, different things like cancer and stuff. So
Yeah.
I do work out. I try to eat very healthy, although I love me some chocolate cake.
I got you. I got you. Got
But I do try to eat healthy.
you. Hmm.
I do a lot of cardio. And I try to, stay away from stress. So the people that have met me within the last year, they probably don't understand why I moved the way that I moved, but I have this attitude where I just drink a tall glass of wait, is this Christian based?
No.
I can curse?
Yeah.
Okay. So I just
Yeah. Now you good.
but I drink a tall glass of I don't give a fuck anymore.
I got you.
So like it can be something with my kids. Like my house could literally be on fire and I would just have me a glass in my hand. I was like, well, I'll deal with that shit tomorrow.
Yeah.
Cause that's how I felt. Like you
Yeah.
can't control
Sometimes,
stress.
sometimes you have to be like that because I learned in life that we bombard ourselves with so many stressors. And a lot of times, if we really examine them, they're really outside of our control.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's insane and a waste of energy to fixate on things that are outside of our control. And I want to commend you for experiencing what you experienced with your siblings, but you being proactive in your health,
Yeah.
not just as far as going to the gym, but getting checked up. And that's something even I need to tighten up on. I haven't been in the doctor in a few months. That's something I need to
Yeah. I
get.
thought you was gonna say years.
Yeah, no. I'm saying because a lot of us,
Yeah.
especially in the African American community,
And
we don't take the doctor as serious as we
yeah.
need to take it. And, getting our checkups to make sure we feel like because we don't feel any pain at the current moment that we all right, we all
Yeah.
good. And that's not the case. You might have some things, stemming and cooking with inside self that they haven't came into fruition yet,
Yeah.
but it's near there. And when it happens, it's almost too late. So I definitely commend you for that. Yeah, that's very big. So, from the introduction, you were a teen mom. Give us a little bit. Take us down that road. How was it for you being a teen mom? What age were you exactly? Were you in school? What grade were you in school? Like, give us the dynamics of that.
So I got pregnant with my daughter at 13.
Mm,
I had her at 14. My
okay.
baby's birthday is on November the 7th, and mine's is on November the 2nd.
That's
I
awesome.
was in foster care as a teen parent.
Mm,
One of the most challenging parts of my life because in that moment, I immediately thought I wanted to break the cycle of abuse, things like that. But the way the system is set up, it's designed to keep you in that cycle. I know
mm,
people don't think that because they always talk about it, but it's not designed to help you break it. It's designed to keep you in it.
mm,
And the reason why I say this is because I've had moments when I struggled with depression when I was a youth. But put it like this, Mm. When I had my daughter at 13, I got pregnant with her. I was actually living with my grandmother at the time. And there was a cycle that my grandmother used to do where when the money would run out, basically she would put us back in the system and then
mm,
just stay there for wherever, a couple months and then we'll come back to her and then it starts again.
yeah.
And then by the time I became a teenager, I had a lot of behavioral issues. I was mad at everybody. I was a fighter. So, I used to be so quick to fight somebody just from looking at me sideways.
Yeah.
Um, so when I got pregnant with my daughter, um, of course, there was a confrontation as far as with me getting pregnant at a young age.
Yeah.
And I will never forget this moment. My grandmother had me placed in this facility and she came to visit me. I was supposed to be there for 7 days. Um, and she brought a J.C. Penney catalog. circled all the things that she wanted to give me to for my daughter, or for the child I was pregnant with.
Mm-hmm.
Then she left and never came back.
Mm.
And then that was the start of trauma, more trauma in my life, that not only as a teen parent where it was a struggle, where that whole trying to break the generational curse
Yeah.
in my mind started. Because if I had a moment as a teen parent in foster care where I was sad, they'll try to take my child from me,
Mm.
because the cycle of abuse, or if you are sad or having emotions, then you may be at risk to your child, versus
Right.
they didn't get me help. They didn't allow me to see somebody. So I had to hide those emotions and things that I was feeling, because anytime I felt normal emotions that a young adult will go through, or any parent will go through,
Yeah.
I had to suppress everything, because that was a risk. And then that's when the battle came to me, to prove to them that you can you can be sad and not have a continued cycle of abuse. You can go through trouble sometimes and probably even get in trouble, and it not be a continued cycle of abuse to your child.
Gotcha.
And that's where that resilience came in, of breaking a generational curse. So my life as a teen parent was very challenging. And I had my twins at 17 years old. And when my twins were born, they were 1 pound, 5 ounces each.
Mm.
And at the time, the foster home that I was living in didn't want to take me and 3 kids in. And so, even though I did everything right to learn how to take care of premature twins, I couldn't take them home,
Oh man.
because there was no placement for me.
Yeah.
There was no home for me. And then I had to prove, yo, yeah, I'm 17 years old, but I'm working, I'm going to school, I'm taking care of my other child just fine. I have the mindset, the mental state of mind to learn how to medically take care of these kids. Why are you putting me in this situation because of something that my parents did? Because I
Mm.
grew up in the system.
Yeah.
So, like I said, they continue that cycle. They don't help break that cycle, because if I'm in foster care beyond my control, why am I paying for my parents' mistake? I didn't ask to be here. So
Yeah.
you're looking at me, oh, because you're in foster care, your kids are going to be in foster care.
Yeah.
And they did it to a lot of my family members, to where I had, even as a young adult, I had to advocate for some of my family members in that way, because I watched the state say the same thing. And I'm like, no, no, that's not true. Why
Yeah.
don't you help them?
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't afford a bus pass. Why don't you give them a bus pass? Instead of saying, oh, you can't afford a bus pass and make it to an appointment, so now you don't deserve your child. So that's a whole different,
Yeah. No, we can
it's
definitely
deep,
dive in.
but when I say it was challenging, it was challenging.
But you said a few things that piqued my interest that I want to highlight. First one, so you actually took the time to study how to properly take care of your premature twins. At what age again?
17.
Wow, that's amazing. That took a lot. That at that moment, that's when you became an adult. I really feel, based on what you're telling me, because I mean, for a 17-year-old to have the fortitude to go out your way to learn, to study, to research, so you can properly take care of your kids, that just speaks to the love of a mother has regarding their child.
Yeah.
That kind of reminds me of my mom. I think she would have went to that extent as well. That's so beautiful. A
Thank
mother's
you.
love, man. Thanks. Shout out to my mom, man. I appreciate you, mom, for everything you've done for me, because I know it wasn't easy. I know it was very challenging, but thank you. And thank you for being such an amazing mom.
Thank you.
So you talked about being in foster care.
Uh-huh.
Let's dive into the system because people don't know.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, if you don't mind, some of the dark moments being in the foster system. Like, what did you experience? Did you experience any abuse, neglect,
Mhm.
sexual assault? Like, let's talk about it if you don't mind.
I experienced a lot of abuse, a lot of sexual assaults, situations. Let's just say I saw semen before I even turned 5 years old.
Oh man.
Um, but not to get deep into that part of
Yeah.
it. Some of the worst moments was being institutionalized.
Mm.
The challenge with being in a foster home is when you go into a foster home and they don't treat you like it's, you're part of their family and allow you to make that your home.
Yeah.
So I've had situations where I wasn't allowed to eat at a dinner table. And that was a struggle, something I struggled with until my adulthood, because I didn't know how to properly sit at a table with a family. it created anxiety for me. I've had a foster parent put me in a cage. I've had a situation, and I'm going to speak on this because this should never happen. So if
Yeah.
they're still doing this,
Talk.
they should never do this.
Talk.
So when I was 15 years old, like I said, I used to be full of anger. So I had a situation where I fought somebody in a foster home. Then they removed me from the foster home, and they took my daughter and put her in a foster home. And then they put me in this place called P.A.S.S. It was on Yukon and Park, like where Yukon Park and Ride used to
Yeah,
be.
I'm
Is
familiar.
that
I've
still
been there
there? Like
before.
what behind the Home Depot in Florida?
ACTS. Yeah, I went there for my charges.
Yeah.
I'm familiar.
So they put me in that facility, right? Now, mind you, I was only in there because there was no foster home for me, right? I never did drugs before, right? I spent a lot of time in juvenile detention centers because I used to fight so much.
Yeah.
But at that particular moment, I never did drugs, and there was no reason for me to be in there. So now you put a young lady a young child away from her child into a facility to where we are eating Orient Road food, jailhouse food, right? I can't go to school. I have to do everything that they're doing in there. I can't leave to go to school, but I also can't have visitations with my daughter because she's not allowed to stay in that facility. So the only time I can see my child is an hour per week. Then I'm forced to participate in group meetings. Now, what are the group meetings about? ACTS is a program for children that are on drugs and alcohol, right? Or that have substance abuse problems. You're putting me in a group setting where I'm hearing all these kids talk about their situations, not understanding that was a trigger for me because my mom did drugs with me. And so now they're talking, and then some of them that didn't want the help, they're praising their drugs. They're praising, doing heroin. They're praising doing coke. And these are kids. Now, mind you, these are, we're the same age, but I'd never been in that situation. If I had a weak mind, been around people who praise certain drugs, they didn't think that could have made me want to try that drugs.
Yeah,
That's why I said, so if they're still doing that, they need to stop.
Right.
But for me, that was the moment when I realized that my voice is powerful. Because one day I was sitting in group, and some teenage child, she was just very disrespectful to the staff. Very disrespectful. She was cursing. She didn't want to be there. She just got in there, and I snapped. And when I say I snapped, not in a bad way, but I just snapped and I just started speaking. And I was like, you guys are in here because y'all got somebody that love y'all enough to try to change your life and put you in here to get help. And I'm in here because my parents did drugs. I'm in here because I don't have a family member that I can go live with or stay with. So I'm not in here based on somebody's loving me. I'm in here from punishment. And y'all are in here to get the help that you're supposed to be getting from being in here. And then you're going to disrespect the people that are trying to help you. And the moment that I did that, I was 15 years old. The whole room just stopped quietly. I was in there for like 6 months. From that moment on, they respected me. Like those prison movies you see where like basically like, nobody like they make sure nobody ain't messing with you.
Right.
The staff, everybody, like I can ask for certain things. They'll bring me McDonald's and stuff like that. Like basically that moment on, just complete respect. But what made me realize that my voice was powerful because kids, when they left, they wrote me letters. And to tell me how much I changed their lives with that speech.
How did it make you feel?
In a way, it made me understand that I have more, there's so much more to me than what's going on with my life. It made me understand that there's so much power within my mindset, right? So my actions, because I was, like I told you, I used to just fight people. I used to be angry. So there's so much power in my mindset to where that moment when I took my anger and allowed it to uplift versus to put down, that was something that had to be within me, right? And so I won't say powerful because I don't feel like those type of things should influence power. But I will say that it taught me that my mindset is everything, and how I speak to people, how I treat people is not technically how they're going to perceive me, but I could be changing somebody's life unintentionally. You never know the impact that you may make on somebody in their lives. And that's why I treat people a certain way. That's why I'm such a nurturer. That's why I try to be so understanding, so yeah.
Nah, most definitely. Now, girl, you didn't say quite some time about you fighting. Now, what you Layla Ali or somebody, girl? You don't let the pretty face and the petite fool y'all. Now, she a fighter. She can get down.
No, and I mentioned a couple times because just thinking about like, dang, Victoria, like you were not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
You know, and it's so like they see this woman that, you know, walk in rooms very gracefully.
Yeah.
You know, I'm always on it, but I'm like, dang, like so speaking to you or bringing up some of those memories, and I'm like, yo, like I had a problem.
Yeah. And I seen a post, I forgot who it was in particular, but they said that you know, you see a person's rewards, right? You see them shining, like, look at you, you're gorgeous, beautiful,
Thank you.
you got your business flowing, you're doing your 1-2. But when somebody sees that, they may or may not, but for the some that will, they'll get jealous. And they'll envy, not knowing all the dues you done paid and all the strife and turmoil you had to endure to remain steadfast, to reach that pinnacle. That's what we don't understand with life, family.
Yeah.
But we have to stop this because you never know, man, what somebody had to do to get what they want to get to. And another thing you said that I want to piggyback on is as parents, we have to know as parents, our decisions can and will affect our children. Victoria was affected because of the decisions that her parents decided to make, not her. And because of that, that warrants some of the, you know, trepidation she had to experience. But I will say this, and don't take this the wrong way. I'm not glad you went through what you went through. Some things could have been circumvented, especially the sexual abuse. I do not tolerate that with nobody, especially with kids. But you know where you at. You know how resilient and strong you are. That contributed. Those experiences contributed for you being Victoria Scott with 2 eyes.
With 2 eyes.
All right, so you know, I'm an emotional intelligence coach. I'm very big on emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence has done wonders in my life. That has gave me the fortitude and the strength to get through my hurdles and turmoil in life. Because we all have it. Nobody has a monopoly on trauma or challenges. Everybody goes through their fair share, right? And you spoke about emotions a lot when you was conveying what you were conveying. So with that being said, what's the hardest emotion you had to master, and what did that mastery teach you?
All right. So I'm usually not affected by a lot of things, even though I do wear my heart on my sleeve. But the thing that affects me the most is my children.
Hmm.
And the emotion that affected me the most is basically the anxiety of how they're going to be as grown-ups and adults and them being able to continue on life without me.
Mhm.
See, my kids didn't have to go through what I went through.
Right.
And even though they was where they had some moments because I was, you know, a tough parent on them, they never had to experience anything like, you know, it's close to what I experienced, but they have their own stories. And so I never wanted them to go through what I went through to build the strength that I have.
Mm-hmm.
But there are moments where we have to understand, like I, you know, said in another interview, that we're not our children, only influence. And so my emotions as a parent is like I fear for the mindset of my children and how today's world affects them.
Mm-hmm.
And so any emotions tied to them and not me feeling like I feel because like I said, I drink a tall glass of I don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
But just worrying about their decisions that they would make in life to where it may affect them in a way to where they no longer have the power to control their choices and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's fearful to me. And like I said, like my kids are great. My kids are good kids. I'm proud of them or whatever. But you know, like I said, I'm not the only influence.
Right.
And so that just worries me a lot.
Okay.
So anything related to my children is a hard emotion for me.
So the fear you spoke about. So within that fear, let's stay on the fear. What has fear taught you?
So what has it taught me? I have to release the need to control the outcome. Because I can't.
Elaborate on that, Victoria. That's very powerful. I want my audience to really. Now I want y'all to suck this game in because this is very powerful. What you're saying.
I have to release the need to control the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that if I if my kids going out, I say be home by 1 o'clock to do something and they don't get there. I cannot control that outcome, right? Things can happen. And when you try to control the outcome, even like the ones that are in college, my focus is on them finishing school,
Mhm.
please finish school. But if something happens to where they don't finish school,
Mhm.
then most times people would get really stressed or overwhelmed with that.
Mhm.
You cannot control the outcome. You have to allow life to happen and your decisions and your reactions to be based on life happening. The more we could try to control the outcome, the more we stress ourselves out with putting a timeline, a goal, or a particular thought in our head of what it should be like.
Mhm.
When that's usually when people get really stressed out. So we can't control the outcome.
Mhm.
Release the need to control it and just let life happen and you react accordingly.
Well said. Well said. And that goes back to what we said earlier about, you know, accepting the things that you can't control and
Yeah.
don't allow those things that you can't control become a stressor.
Yeah.
Because when we stress, that has a negative effect on our emotions. And when our emotions are altered and tampered with and not in balance, that influences our decision making. And that's where we come with the self-sabotaging.
Yeah.
And that's how I came up with the acronym PASS, Rebel Against Self-Sabotage, because it's all in the root. You get what I'm saying? It's all in the roots, the external factors that we are facing experience with that influence that reaction or that response.
Yeah.
But it's up to us to make the optimal response, that behooves us in the long run. So
Yeah.
definitely agree with you with that. But I also want to touch on this because I almost forgot. But you mentioned you had PTSD. Now I'm assuming that PTSD stemmed from the foster care journey. Is that true? Or where does this PTSD derive from?
And the PTSD is from a lot of different things. One, the first time I ever seen my mom do cry because she was sitting on the toilet.
Hmm.
She was shooting up. And so for a while, I couldn't be in the bathroom with a toilet, closed toilet. Like I
Hmm.
couldn't use the bathroom with the light on. Um,
Really?
Sexual abuse. Which it doesn't, the sexual abuse part don't really affect me that much now because now, like, because I was never a victim. I don't like to be a victim.
I love
Just,
that. I love that.
so, that stuff happened and it shaped, some of the choices that I made going into my adulthood. But, the woman that I am when I learned to love and self-respect myself, none of that stuff to me don't matter. So that's why I don't like to bring up the sexual abuse
Mhm.
part.
Gotcha.
But it's been institutionalized. It's still something that plays, have an effect on me to this day.
Mhm.
Because I like to be in closed rooms, open body rooms just give me anxiety
Really?
because I was never really allowed to be in large open spaces. It was like, so,
Got you.
so there's a lot of different triggers. Just fearing for my kids, just, they were at times ripped from me, not in my adult life like that, but as a teenager, I told you,
Yeah.
so those moments just, when they're like my daughter, she's in New York right now
Mm.
and I miss her so much because we've been in each other lives for her entire life. So it's just stuff like that that still play a role in, that, some of the emotions that I may feel, some of the reactions that I may have. One of the things that I do a lot is that I cut people off really quick,
Mm.
right?
Law of detachment. You need that. That's emotional intelligence right there. Law of detachment.
But we praise that trait,
Mhm.
but it's not really something you should praise
Really? Why is that?
because, see, I cut people off based on energies or based on something that affect me. But usually when I meet people, my energy is so heavy, loving naturally to where when I do cut them off, they get really confused. They're like, "Oh my gosh, like I didn't see that coming." And then we pray, I'm a Scorpio, so we kind of
Mhm.
praise it on a Scorpio trait or whatever. But the reason why I say that's not a good trait to have is because in my life, I had met people along the way in my adult life, some in my teenage years, that did not give up on me
Mhm.
based on my energy, based on bad moments with them, based on me cursing them out or feeling a certain way. And it helped me grow into the woman that I am today. So if we always have that mindset, we don't give people a chance to protect our own peace.
Mhm.
It's like I said, it goes back to you never know the life that you may be impacting. Now, I'm not saying you have to sit there and take abuse from people. You have to know, but sometimes you just have to put them in a category where they belong, but you don't always have to cut them off. So I don't really feel like that's a personality trait or character trait to praise, because we all need to learn how to work on understanding that you're a different person from me. You think differently from me.
Right.
Your story is different from me. And right now I'm sharing mine, but you haven't shared yours, so I don't know. So if you're having a bad day and I haven't gotten the opportunity to get to know you, why am I judging you?
Right.
Why do I feel like you shouldn't be around me? And people
Right.
judge me all the time. So that's why I said, like, I don't think that's a good personality trait to have.
Okay.
Like, we need to actually work on learning that each person have their own battles and stories.
True.
And give grace.
True. Well, I hear your perspective, but I want to put some clarity on it.
Okay.
Why I feel like the law of detachment is a superpower. Now, with anything, you have to know when, where, and how to apply it when necessary. In the regards you're speaking of, you're saying like, hey, if somebody do something, you just cut them completely off and not knowing where that stemmed from, not believing in second chances, like being so quick to just cut it off. I'm not saying that regard. I'm saying be able to detach from someone or something that is an anchor that has become detrimental, that doesn't deserve your energy or your time or your presence, because you have people in things out there that doesn't deserve Victoria Sky. And a lot of times we get attached because with that attachment, it's some pleasure associated with that. It does something to our psyche to be around that person or to indulge in this habit. But nonetheless, it's detrimental. It's hurting us. So I feel like with us, you always have to put, at the end of the day, you have to put yourself first when it comes to any type of harmful impacts that one or something can bring. So when that comes, that is an emotional intelligence trait that I foster. And I believe everybody should cultivate internally. You have to know when to detach, when it's the right moment. Because prime example, and I'm gonna let you talk. But with women, a lot of women don't know how to detach from an abusive relationship. And some women that have experienced some things that you went through with abuse and neglect, they get with these men, and the men are displaying those same traits that they experienced as an adolescent, but they confusing it with love. Oh, this is how it's supposed to be. No, it's not. Ain't no man supposed to be beating you up or, talking to you down to you. No, it's not. But you don't know how to detach. That's where the law of detachment is perfect. That's when it need to be applied, but a lot of us don't have that. So that's just my perspective
That's
on it.
true.
But go ahead.
That's
Sorry.
very true, and I agree. And I have experienced domestic violence in my young adult life, especially coming out of foster care. I met a man that saw me very vulnerable and took advantage of that. Right,
Mm-hmm.
to where one point he strangled me with a phone cord and left me. Almost died that day. So I've had a lot of moments like. Yeah, I actually had a few moments in my young adolescent life. But here's the key thing, and you mentioned it. I learned very early on, and probably for me because it's what I experienced in life that taught me this. We should never make anyone our anchors.
Mm.
Nobody should be something that is holding you down, anchoring. I meant like we say ride or die, hold me down in that aspect, but nobody should ever be your anchor. And so when you don't allow people to be your anchor, right? Certain situations to where you may end up being in that you didn't voluntarily put yourself in, then you are fast to detach. And then you can detach them more quickly, more efficiently, but also without allowing that to create baggage for you.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and I tell people all the time, I would carry my bags, like the $65,000 designer bags. I don't carry. I carry all of them because it made me.
Yeah.
But I learned early on to not allow people to become an anchor for me.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody is in my life, and this is how I think of it, and so that why I don't have to always detach people, I can just put them in a category, and then, sometimes just life happens and they just disappear. But the reason why I can do that is because I taught myself to depend on me. But
Gotcha.
I'm very grateful for the people that come into my life that either build me up or the ones that teach me lessons.
Yeah.
But they were never my anchor. So let's say me and you were partners, we're married, and we're building together. And let's say I was just a stay-at-home wife as you're building,
Yeah.
right? Most people will consider, well, you're my anchor, right? But no, I feel like it's a privilege to be in my life. And it's not to be cocky or arrogant. It's a
Nah,
privilege to be in my life,
valuable,
right?
yeah.
And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring so much more to the table. But so what I'm dependent on you is with the financial part of it. Because of course I'm a stay-at-home wife and you're taking care of me. But the way my mind works is while you're going to take care of me, financially taking care of the bills, I'm building off of that.
Mhm.
And that's why I say I don't allow anybody to be an anchor because I'm my own anchor. I'm building off of that
Mhm.
versus relying on you to just hold me down. So when you leave or we have a situation to where we just cannot be together anymore, I'm not dependent on you. So I don't have to detach from you.
Yeah.
I just have to make a choice.
Got you. Quick correction though. When I was speaking in regards to anchor, I wasn't talking about from the standpoint of a foundation. The
Okay.
anchor you're talking about as far as like
Okay.
a foundation, the rock, got things in order, perspective, and we solid, we stationary, we good. I was talking about from the standpoint of preventing somebody to move forward and grow and progress.
Okay.
That being that anchor, like, anchors you used to stop the ship
Start the
from
ship.
sailing.
Okay.
It's a time where we gotta get our ship and we gotta start sailing. It's time to move forward. It's time to go to another destination. We have people in our lives that they want to be the anchor and prevent us from taking that
Yeah, I
progression,
get what you're saying
but we don't
now.
have the power and the emotional intelligence to detach. And that's where detachment is necessary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's funny when you were talking about the bags that the media thought about Erica Badu, bag lady. But that song, bag man, hey
Yeah.
man, let them bags go,
bag.
man. Listen, you're gonna miss your bus. You got too much stuff. You're gonna miss your bus. Let those bags go, man, because we have all this baggage and all this trauma and all these bad experiences. And though I know it's challenging to assimilate and deal with, I'm not gonna say we have to let it go because you never forget, but you have to, as an adult, it's your responsibility to deal with those challenges and traumas accordingly and make it be a benefit to you as opposed to a detriment.
So you
right?
see why I say bags though? I'm gonna tell you
Yeah.
why, just so I can explain it.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like there are certain things in my life that's just part of my life, right?
Okay.
That I can't help. If some decisions I made, it is what it is. It's a
Mhm.
bag, right? But the things I allow in the bag, I don't have to allow to weigh me down, right?
Right.
So having multiple kids, by multiple men would be considered baggage, right? Into any relationship, which I never
Is it
had.
really though?
It could be because the
Yeah.
way today's mind is. I've never had a problem with companionship with multiple kids, but I listen to certain podcasts or whatever,
Yeah.
and people are quick to judge women based on those decisions.
Yeah.
So the reason why I say I carry mine like a $65,000 bag because yes, baby, I do have kids. I do have kids by multiple men, and I raised them perfectly, not perfectly, but in my eyes, they're great. I
got you.
raised them. I didn't have any, none of them are locked up, thankfully. I don't have any grandkids. None of them were teen parents. They didn't make the same choices that I made.
Yeah.
And they're doing very good with themselves in life. And not to say that somebody else here that's going through something else is not, but for me,
Yeah.
that's, I'm
That's a
like,
reward for
I'm
you.
proud of
Yeah,
that
it's a
because
personal achievement for
I
you.
broke that generational curse.
Gotcha.
And so when I say baggage, meaning that I carry them proudly.
Mhm.
So when somebody asks me how many kids you got, I don't care. Like I'm not ashamed of how many kids I got. And some women would be. So that's what I mean. I carry my bag.
Gotcha.
65,000.
And I want to touch on this foster care thing one more time because you may not know. I know you don't know. I empathize with you because my mom was a foster parent. Now I
Yeah, you
wasn't a
told
foster
me.
kid, but my mom had a great heart, big heart, and she knew the intricacies, quote unquote, of the system, and she wanted to help and she wanted to be a solution. So she became a foster parent, and I experienced what it was to have foster brothers and sisters. And my mom, she used to always have a talk with me like, hey, be grateful that you have a mom because there's kids in this world that doesn't have the opportunity that you have, doesn't have the blessing. And that did a lot to me because, it was moments in my life I'm complaining about just having a mom. Like, where's my dad? But, things could be worse. Yeah, I don't have a dad, unfortunately, but at least I got a love, nurturing, and caring mom because that could be taken away. Because unfortunately, that's reality for a lot of kids, even in today's time, right? So I know what it's like, not know what it's like in the physical, but the stories. I've had foster brothers and foster sisters that told me the stories of neglect, sexual abuse, trauma, and that really impacted my life and made me grateful, but I just couldn't fathom somebody doing something like that to a kid, let alone an individual. But I commend you, right? And this is why, because some foster brothers, I'm not in touch with them, but I know of them, what they're doing in today, and they're not doing so well. Some of them, a couple of my foster brothers, in and out of incarceration. And the sisters, no disrespect, they came, and it's sad to say, and I understand, but they have become this behemoth sexual active person. No, they associate sex with love, and it is, but excessive amount of sex is detrimental. Like they don't care who they have sex with. They just willing to give their body up because of what they experience. And I understand, I don't judge. I just wish that they will have the awareness to get some healing, because that needs to be healed. Nothing wrong with sex. I love sex. I'm sure you love sex. That is an essential part of humanity. But excessive and just giving your body to any and whoever, that's where it becomes a problem. And I witnessed that. And you don't have to tell me if you went through that or not. It's not my business. It doesn't matter. But if you did, that's part of the chapter. I get it. I definitely, empathize and sympathize with that. But, you making out of it, becoming victorious. That's why your name Victoria, girl. Come out of victorious out of your situation to now a successful entrepreneur. And I want you to elaborate on that, because, you got your liquor right here that you ain't even touched on. And I want the audience to know about your liquor, about your brand, because you were not who your past says you are. You know what I'm saying? You're not defined by your past. You're defined about what you do in the present. And today you're at Victoria Sky, a serial entrepreneur. So I want you to elaborate on your liquor. Like what inspired you to come up with a liquor? Because usually, and I'm sorry, don't nobody bashing. There's no shade to, my black people. I'm black, as you can see. I'm black as hell, and I love me and I love my community. But usually as black folks, we usually when we dive into the entrepreneur world, we usually start off with a beauty salon, barbershop, landscaping business. Girl, you started off with liquor. That is big. So let's talk about it. Let's dive into that, girl. Talk to us.
So one thing about Victoria Sky as a brand, I built myself up as a brand before I came out with products. So I've been doing it for 20 years. Victoria Sky, as far as a serial entrepreneur, a socialite, 20 years, right? Footwork, not the Instagram stuff where it's like the influencer.
Like real deal.
Yeah, I mean like how the CD guys used to sell it out the trunk. Like
Okay,
footwork. It's some calendars and stuff like that. So I built myself as a brand.
Nipsey Hussle. I got
And building myself as a brand, I earned a lot of respect because a lot of people seen that growth, which allowed me to be able to come up with products for support. So my first brand product was shoes. I'm also a shoe designer.
Okay.
So recently I launched VV Spirits. I originally started with Kryptonite Vodka last year. And these two other brands that you see, the Boss Bourbon and After Dark Rum, these I am launching on October 25th at the VV Experience.
Okay.
Here in Tampa. I am the first Black female in Tampa to own her own spirit brand with products made in Tampa. That's actually a Tampa native. So
big shout out to you, girl. 813, we in the building, y'all.
813.
Y'all know me. I love Tampa. I'm an advocate, man. So big ups to you, man. Respect the sister. Kiss the rain, man. Go ahead.
Thank you. But what inspired me to do this versus salons and stuff like that is because I like to show people to think outside the box. That you don't have to be a big celebrity or a billionaire to do things like this.
Yeah.
Definitely. That the average person, now I ain't gonna lie, this shit is, oh my God. You have to be a beast of a boss to make it in this particular industry. And it's not even just about race thing. It's me just being a female, me being a smaller brand. It is challenging, right? And people don't see that. They just see the social media stuff that I make look good, but they don't see the footwork that is required and the mindset that's required for this type of business.
Gotcha.
But the reason why I'm sharing the journey and making the whole the whole journey publicly and sharing my story is because I want to show people yeah, this is possible. I want to, Tampa is, they're considered my peers. You know what I'm saying? This is home for me. So when you see me out and I am accessible, I do go out to support so many people, I want them to say yo, I know her. She owns her own brand. of spirits, versus Tito's and well, I shouldn't say that because they ain't paying you, but some of the other
You gotta pay me not to, though. You want some promotion? I can't get
the other larger brands out there. Like, I want them to be like, yo, like, I can do something outside of the box, outside of the normal, and actually make it work. Now, our journey is not going to be the same,
Mm-hmm.
but it's all about your mindset, and it starts with thinking outside the box.
Mm-hmm. I got you. So explain the taste. Like, what's
Ooh,
after dark? Now, this look like it's a little after the dark. That's when you sit with your significant other. You trying to get a little. You know what I mean? We ain't got no cups in here, but we're going to taste it after the show.
I should have brought some. Yeah, okay. So, yes. So, After Dark rum, it's a white rum that was created to taste like a dark rum. So, I would say all the formulas, the creation of it took place in, I helped. It's not white label. I own the formula. So,
Big ups to you, girl.
thank you. So, with the After Dark, I wanted to taste like a dark liquor, but I want it to be white because it's easier to mix that in certain punches and cocktails, right?
Gotcha.
So it has a little kick to it, has a little spice. That's why you see the little fire right there.
Gotcha.
But I will say, well, I'll put you on your ass. It's 80 proof, and the after dark moments will start creeping up.
Yeah. So basically, this the baby making potion.
Oh God,
we gonna call that the baby making potion, y'all.
I need y'all to call it VV.
VV.
And then Kryptonite vodka. It is gluten-free. It's made from corn. It's so freaking smooth. You can now that one is kryptonite.
Creep up on you.
Yeah, because kryptonite is the slow take.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful with that.
Okay.
How it's because it'll creep up on you, but you will not have a hangover.
Okay.
You won't feel sick. You'll feel good. You can get up the next morning. I have had so many kryptonite moments, and then was able to get back up.
Really?
And no problems, and I think most people, they stay away from vodka because it makes them feel sick.
Gotcha.
So that's the reason why I wanted the gluten-free vodka made from corn. So
you say I could chug this here on a Sunday night, enjoy myself, enjoy the football game, and still wake my behind up 8 a.m. in the morning to go to work and ain't got no hangover?
No hangover. You can go and party at a bachelor party.
Y'all better come get some of this kryptonite, man. That's where it's at right there.
What they call it when they chase the bottles and they pour the bottles in it. You can do that all night.
Okay.
Y'all gonna be making some kryptonite decisions. You probably be calling the ex or something like that, pouring out your feelings. But the next morning,
hey,
get up.
Next morning we're gonna get up.
And then of course, Boss, right? Boss is a bourbon. It's 90 proof. But I formulated that with notes of caramel. So that way you can sip it on the rocks and it still tastes good. So all of my products, you can sip on the rocks without adding the sugary stuff that will actually make you get drunk faster or whatever, or make you get intoxicated faster. So I wanted all of them to be good to where you can just sip it and smoke. You see what's on my mind. You can sip it on the rocks. But each brand, and the reason why it's called VV, because I'm VV, and you probably like, why I didn't put Victoria Sky. There's a reason for that. I don't think you want to get into that.
Okay.
If you ask me, I'll tell you. But
off the camera, off script, we'll get in, we'll dive.
But each brand represents part of like my personality. So that's why we call it the VV experience, because I want you to embody all of those, things that you're feeling when you're on my brand. You drinking. You ever seen somebody in the club drinking something and they just so snooty and trying to be all... Nah.
That ain't the case with this. When I consume any 3 of these, I'm embodying VV. I'm seeing what VV like. Okay, all right.
I'm a Scorpio, so After Dark is that more mysterious side.
Okay.
It ain't got to be all geared towards sexual intimacy, but that
right.
You can, your After Dark moments could be dressing up in a suit, going to an elegant rooftop. That kryptonite, it's okay to party. I look, like I don't party, but I party. I like to have fun. And then of course, Boss just that moment.
All right. So I got a few more questions. So how do you stay grounded when the spotlight or success starts to test your humility, excuse me?
I'm very humble. Because I've been through so much in life. I've seen moments, I've had moments where tomorrow's not promised, but the things you have can be taken away from you, or in moments with beyond your control, just gone.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what happened with COVID, right?
Yeah.
So life itself just I try to be as humble as possible. Tell me to pop my shit to somebody who's judging me.
Yeah. Nah,
But
for
I try
sure.
to be as humble
That's
as possible.
necessary. It is a
I
time and a place, y'all.
pop your
Pop your
shit.
shit.
Yeah, pop your shit.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm always very humble. So I go through life, and it's probably not even the best thing for me to do, but I go through life knowing that the shit don't go with you when you die.
Yeah.
So,
Fact.
you know, but I do have an optimistic mindset
It's a
and
fact.
spirit, but
Yeah.
I can't lie, I be thinking about that all the time.
Yeah. Nah, that's a fact. Definitely can resonate with that. Nah, that's cool. That's peace right there. All right, so what's one misconception people have about you that you secretly love?
That I'm mean.
That you
That I'm mean.
that you mean. Oh,
That
that you're
I'm
mean.
mean. Yeah.
Okay. They think you mean. People think you mean.
Cause
I didn't get that
sometimes
impression.
I can.
Well, hold on. Victor, I gotta say this before you answer the question. I'm not gonna lie. When I first seen you, I seen you on IG. I seen your profile. I seen how you look. And usually when women of your stature, as beautiful, petite, successful as you are, they can be a little snotty and bougie and think they shit don't stink. And I can't stand that because we're all human and everybody come from humble beginnings. And I hate when somebody forgets that. So that's something right there. So, but mean, I didn't get that. But go ahead and elaborate. I'm sorry, I just wanted to tell you that. Go ahead.
Sometimes I'll walk in the room. And if I'm not familiar with the room, I'm observing, I'm reading the energy, and sometimes my face can be very serious.
Mm,
Or I have, we all kind of learn to have that human bullshit detector,
mhm,
especially when you go through a lot of stuff in life. So sometimes if a person is talking to me and I can sense the bullshit, my facial expression will change.
mhm,
I can't hide it. I'm not fake. So
mhm.
some people just assume that, I'm not approachable, that I mean. But I will say, if a guy approach me that I'm not interested in, they ask me my name, I'm gonna tell them my name. Cause who am I to not
Yeah.
and to be like, oh, like get away from me. No, my name is so and so. And then if you try to approach me in a different way, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. But you'll always get a smile from me. You'll always get a great energy from me unless you're being disrespectful.
Mm,
So yeah, so a lot of people just think that because sometimes I'm so focused
mhm,
that my demeanor feels that way, or some people think that I am not approachable
mm.
because of so much that I have going on, what they see on social media.
Got you. So for the record, are you a single woman? Girl, what that mean? What's the eyes? Yes or no, Victoria? It's a simple question. Hey, are you a single woman?
Contenders.
Contenders?
Contender, yeah.
So what does that mean?
I I got a contender.
Oh, so you got somebody in the works that could potentially be something,
Yeah.
but right now it's not official that you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
So for all the single guys out there, right,
Don't approach me
don't approach.
because I'm a Scorpio and we create soul ties. So you don't want this.
Okay. But hypothetically speaking, due to the fact that you're a single woman, what is a way a man can approach you that will get your attention?
I don't know.
You don't know, girl. You know what you like. You know how you want somebody to approach you.
I'm an energy person. I'm a vibe person.
So that's what I'm saying.
I
So
like dope vibes.
like
I
dope
like
vibes.
familiar vibes. I like to feel like I've known that person for a while, and I love to laugh. I like personality.
Mm.
Like the way to get me intrigued is to have personality, but you can't approach me in a formal way to where you just read ChatGPT on how to approach Victoria Sky. Like
Mm.
you have to be like so
Mm.
authentic. Yeah, like, you have to be so authentic around me, and then naturally, like, you can tell if I'm oh my gosh, you can tell if I'm into a person because I do this thing with my eyes.
Like what? Show us. Let's show us. For the fellas only. Listen, this your sign right here. Victoria, show us the sign now. Hey, this is gonna be the telltale. Is she feeling you or not, brother?
If I do the head tilt, I bite my lip, little
Oh,
smirk, I'm like,
that's the one. There y'all go.
and
Thank Mo Nelson, y'all. P.A.S.S podcast. Take your homeboy, take your friends, man. Hey, here you go, man. She beautiful, y'all.
and if I'm quirky around you,
What you mean, Corky? Like goofy and funny?
if I'm silly around
All
you, that
right,
means I'm very comfortable.
there you go. So basically, to conclude it, you telling the fellas you have to have a magnetic personality. Something I've been talking about, y'all. I've been telling y'all, man, get off that I'm not friendly stuff, man. All that want to be hard and tough and want to crack a smile. Crack a smile, be friendly. You get stuff like this. No, I appreciate that, Victoria. I appreciate that. So, what's next for Victoria Sky? Like, what's brewing in the vision that people haven't seen yet?
Want to sleep.
You want to
I want to
sleep?
go to sleep.
You want to sleep? That girl, the
Ah.
vision, that ain't something next. What's next for you? Like, what's the next
Victoria,
chapter?
she's gonna go MIA. Don't come looking for me. I'm going incognito.
Go call you. Nah, we need Victoria Sky. The world needs you.
No. Honestly, I've done so much with marketing the brand,
Mhm.
and people, like I said, you have to be a beast of a boss to be into the spirit business.
Mhm.
I have to now focus on my income from the brand, because the only way I make my money is when a distributor buy it from the manufacturer, technically from me.
Gotcha.
And so I don't make money when it's poured into a club, or when the retailers resell it. I only make money when the distributor purchase from me. So
Mhm.
now I have to go into incognito mode to build those relationships, because there's not a lot of them. And most of those larger distributors want to deal with larger companies.
Mhm.
So that's why October 25th is so important to me, because I'm showing them the support and the marketing I'm willing to put behind my brand
Mhm.
as a smaller brand, but mainly the support that I'm getting behind the brand. But it is something that takes a lot of research, because every state is different.
Mhm.
And I'm trying to go national.
Gotcha.
So
You're trying to go for
truthfully,
gusto.
I am going incognito, but not
Yeah.
to sleep, to
Yeah.
work.
You keep mentioning the V experience on October 25th. Elaborate on that. Let the audience know.
So the VV Experience is an event that I decided to put together to allow the people that support me and my audience to come to one building to try my brands. Because I'm not going to lie, those Crips Night weekends last year burnt me out, and I can't do no more. I'm getting too old for that shit. I can't do a partying every weekend because y'all want to turn up on a Crips Night takeover.
Yeah.
So October, because y'all not going to catch me outside like that. Is October 25th is a way for me to actually show, what my product tastes like in actual mixed cocktails.
Gotcha.
I am also having live performances. So we have like Slim from 112 coming through to perform. Cheyenne
what's up.
Roberts, from St. Pete, you probably know her. That's a baby girl. She's performing. Zay France, he's coming through. He's from Cali, who else? Most Wanted from Tampa. He's gonna be
Yeah,
performing.
the rapper. I like him.
Yeah.
He got that song, No Hiccups. I love it, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Most Wanted,
Most
man.
Wanted, yes.
I appreciate you, brother, man, putting on for the city. Continue making quality, impactful music, man. Salute.
Thanks. Salute. We got Bluff City coming through to perform. We got saxophonist Marlon. A lot of people here know him in Tampa. I don't know if you ever seen him play, but he is phenomenal. He takes jazz to a whole new level.
Wow.
We have Sienna performing as well. Who else did I miss? And we have Scratch Cartel is a performance DJ. He's into the Afrobeats world, but you get a chance to see him do his thing as well. Shizm. We also have Novocaine. Tampa's own MVP. Novocaine will be also hosting the event, but she's also performing.
Oh, that's
So
beautiful.
it's it's a whole experience.
Whole experience.
But
Okay.
you will learn from even just the lineup that I'm taking everybody through a different experience.
Experiencing VV. All right.
Yeah.
So do me a favor, Miss Victoria Sky.
Yes.
I want you to look into this camera, and I want you to tell the audience, where can they find you at? How do they get to the event? And any offers that you have available to them to get closer to you, to get your product, give them the whole nine. Where can they find you at? Please tell me.
I don't know now, because then if I tell y'all where to find me, y'all gonna be looking for that head tilt in the eye.
Fellas, keep it. Business purposes, business endeavors only, fellas. Now, hey, man. But it's always, hey, listen, shoot your shot. Shoot your shot. But if the sister say no,
But you
let
can
it
look
be.
at me like that. And then I could be just having a bad day at that moment.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny.
But you guys can find me on Instagram, Victoria Sky with 2 Y's. For the event itself, you can go to VV Experience, that's THEVVExperience.com to learn more information about October 25th. But that is not my only experience I'm going to do. So, just follow me. I plan on doing more VV experiences if this one don't take me out. Just so that way, it's a way for me to market and brand my product. And that's all I want to give y'all for right now.
Yeah. And one more, because I don't want to forget this. Please get some advice, some encouragement to some of these foster teens that's going through what you went through. And if you can go back and talk to your old self or talk to them currently, what will you tell them? Please give them something.
One, speak up. Do not allow a situation to silence you. Do not allow fear to silence you. It happens a lot to foster youth because sometimes speaking up means change of placement, change of home, change of what they're familiar to. Speak up. You know, another thing is that I will tell you that your past does not determine your future, right? But that's really not the case because sometimes our past have an effect on our future, even as we're healed, things like that, because it's decision making. Your mindset is the most important thing, the most powerful thing you have, and the thing that's going to make the most impact on your life is how you think of things. So if you're in a situation right now that you don't want to be in and you think that you cannot get through it, just know you can.
Said. Well, I definitely appreciate you, Miss Victoria.
You.
How did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy yourself?
Yes. I really appreciate you. You allowed me to speak more about things that I have not opened up to most people about. So thank you.
Awesome. You're
Thank you for
welcome.
giving
You're
me this
welcome.
platform.
Yeah, man, your presence was amazing. All right, family, that does it for today's episode. Remember, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I cultivated this platform to help inspire and entertain people that are in need. I am your host, Mo Nelson. Thank you, Project Icon. Thank you, Sakarat Clothing. Listen, P.A.S.S. Prevail against self-sabotage. Remember that you are your best friend, but you are also your own worst enemy. Can't wait to see you on the next one. See you.
Yeah, I just wanna make it out for the times that we ain't have it.